Hi, Nancy. How are you? All right. We're giving a little extra time with one elevator down. Okay. Any more elevators coming up? Huh? Are we ready? Are we ready? Not yet. I got a blue screen. Now I got a Google screen. Now I got a weird thing. And now I've got me.
Current you or old you?
I think it's current me. It has the same color. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Can you hear me, Leanne? Is your name Leanne? Ooh, what were you doing yesterday? Is this kind of low? Kind of like I'm swallowing it to get volume. Yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Chuck.
Hello, 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 hello. Let's get a little livelier. We have two more of these to do. Won't be as much fun after me, I can tell you that right now. Ha! But I'm sure the free drinks will always be around. So, before I invite the ladies up for their reports, I think you probably all know that this is kind of a very special day in the United States. This is 9/11. I would share with you, I had a friend that I lost that worked on the pile. the second day afterwards. So I have some pretty deep feelings about 9/11 and what happened. So I would like to take a moment, if you don't mind, and say a little thanks and memory to everyone that we lost. Almighty Father, help us never to forget the memory of those lost to the events of 9/11. Lord, we pray with genuine and sincere hearts that our legacies will go on to endure. We think of the courageous souls of Flight 93 who fought back the hijackers to spare more lives, giving the ultimate sacrifice in doing so. Lord, we pray for the memories of the innocent victims and those who lost their lives to rescue, help, and save others, such as the firefighters, the police officers, the healthcare professionals, and the civilians who all lent a hand to help in those days after. May their bravery be remembered and not just a footnote in history books. We sincerely ask that the memories of those we lost that day will not be forgotten. We ask this in your name. Amen. Thank you. All righty, it is Wednesday. It's 9/11, 2024. And sadly, that happened 23 years ago now. My God, doesn't seem that long ago. I have a few announcements. I don't have a lot, which is really good, and they're all good announcements. I'm not talking about dog poop anymore. This time or next time, I'm staying away from it. So, in honor of not talking about dog poop, let's have our ladies come up and give you the good news. Whichever one wants to come up first. Penny's on the roll. Here she comes.
Oh, hi, everybody. Okay, I have just a few announcements. First of all, we are playing water volleyball on the 19th. That is next Thursday. We're looking for volleyball players. Good. So if you haven't joined us, give it a try. It's easy, right, Bev? Yeah. Okay, it's a little hard. You have to get your arms up and yes. It is fun, Tom. Nancy has great footage. And you do get your hair wet and you do laugh a lot. It is great fun. So please join us. We will be doing true or false. I will be doing that tomorrow, 4:00, right here. So teams are formed. You decide, is the statement true or false? So a lot of fun, and bar is open. So come up and join us for that. And then pub trivia on September 25th, also at 4:00 here in the Turkey Roost. Again, we form teams, and that's where you have to give me the answers, not just true and false. Team member of the quarter nominations are due on Monday, the 23rd of September. So if you would like to nominate a team member as team member of the quarter, you could get the forms downstairs in the alcove by the mailroom, and that is where you deposit the form by Monday. Okay, and there's a list of people who have won recently. If someone's name is on that plaque, they're not eligible to win again. So you can only have your name on the plaque once. After 3 years, their name goes off the plaque and they can be on there. Now, anyone who is not in the leadership team is available to be team member of the quarter. So please take time to do that. And all those nominations go in their files, even if they don't win. And did you know that we're having a show next month? We're putting on a show, gang. On the 10th of October, we have a variety show. It's in the works. Some people in this room will be performing. Thank you very much for volunteering. And it's going to be a great show. It is going to be a packed house, so you'll hear more about that. In the 13 years I've worked here, that is the most highly attended event we've ever done, is the variety show. So lots of fun. And I think that's all I wanted to say. So have a good evening, everybody.
Penny, I wanted to thank you for programs and Mother Chuck's legacy. I heard that this is going to go on yearly.
Yes.
I give one tonight, and without you, I wouldn't have this, so thank you.
Yes, yes. Tom's talking about the appreciation forms, and we are going to be doing those again this year. The gratitude and appreciation season will begin next month, and I'll be talking more about that. But we do have those appreciation forms, and that was great fun, and we'll carry that on this year. Thank you.
Super. Thank you, Penny. And Carolee is up.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hi. Okay, so first of all, check out the Lifestyle Binder on Saturday. Nancy's going to be releasing some new performances and some new trips and some new outings on Saturday. So go to the binder, check it out, sign up if you think you'd like to go. If you see something in there you're not quite sure, hey, is that for me? Is it something I can do? Talk to Nancy. She'll be able to make sure that you have a safe and fun outing. Okay, so Saturday, Lifestyle Binder, check it out. Okay, orange, black, and green. There's mischief a-brewing this Halloween. That's right. We're going to turn the first floor lobby into a fabulous event of trunk and treating for preschoolers again. So Nancy's got her flyers ready. We're going to be going out to the local preschools like we did last year. We're going to invite them over for some fun down the lobby. Last year we transformed it into kind of a spooky haunted house. We got some different ideas this year, but it's all going to be transformed down there. We're going to need some volunteers, some people to dress up, some people to pass out candy, some people to run some games, and some people just to come and have fun. But I wanted to put it out there so you guys knew that that's what's happening. And soon we'll be putting out a sign-up sheet if anybody is interested in donating candy for the trunk or treat part, because we'll have kids go around and trick or treat. Okay, so look for that information coming from Nancy. Okay, things happening this month. September 13th, on Friday, we'll have a resident forum. And the council is going to be introducing the candidates that will be running for the next council. So come down and hear more about them. On September 16th, we'll have Back in the Day, and Eberhard, I thought I saw him. I see Ricky, but I don't see Eberhard, is going to be our guest speaker. So come and listen to his story about his family. Okay, that'll be at 3 o'clock right here. Then, after that, we are going to be celebrating Mexicans' Independence Day. We're going to be having some Mexican food in the dining room, some action stations. We're going to have horchata, which is a delicious Mexican drink. We are going to be having a churro dessert bar. That's right, folks, a churro dessert bar. You'll be able to come over to the Tuscany room and order a churro however you like it. So it's going to be fun. Now, here's the kicker. So we're going to start this at 4:30. At 5 o'clock, we will be having a live mariachi band. Yes. From 5 to 6, live mariachi will be in the dining room. So you know mariachi, it's a bit loud. So if you prefer not live mariachi, come from 4:30 to 5 or 6 to 6:30. If you love mariachi music and want to get into the festive fun with the rest of us, come at 5 o'clock. All right, so we'll see you there Monday, 4:30, right over there. Okay, on September 17th at 2 p.m. in the lobby, guess what we're going to be doing? Zumba with Pinky. Pinky is back. She's going to be teaching us some Zumba moves down in the lobby. She is super excited because she's been kind of out of the mix for a while, so she's excited to get back and do some Zumba with us, and she's good. Now, this is open to everybody, all fitness levels, and trust me, you do not have to have a lick of rhythm in your body. She'll get you grooving and moving, okay? All right, September 18th at 2 p.m., we are going to have Larry Asio. I'm not sure how to say his last name now that I'm saying it out loud. He's the physical therapist. I kind of mumbled. I was kind of talking to Nancy and I was kind of talking to myself. Larry, a physical therapist from Washington Hospital, he was here a few months ago, maybe about 6 months ago, and he did a fall prevention talk. He is a physical therapist. He's coming back. He's going to talk about fall prevention because it's September, Fall Prevention Month. And he is also going to stay after here in the Turkey Roost to talk to anybody one-on-one. And he will also adjust your walkers. If you have some walkers that you think is not the right height or not right appropriate for you, he'll talk to you about that afterwards. Okay? Yeah. On September 25th, we're going to have a little presentation up here in the Turkey Roost called Rethink Your Retirement with Dee Dee. Now, Dee Dee is an investment advisor representative from Transamerica Financial Advisors Incorporated. She's going to discuss how to safeguard your retirement savings from market volatility and ensure a comfortable retirement. Now, I know you all are enjoying your comfortable retirement because you're here. However, she may be able to give you some pointers on how to keep that going. So 10 a.m. right here in the Turkey Roost. And then to end the month, September 27th, we are going to be celebrating Oktoberfest over on the auditorium patio. So we're going to have German music, German food, German beer. So bring your steins and come on over. 2 o'clock, auditorium patio, September 27th. I'll see you all there. There will be a shuttle. The shuttle will start at 1:45. The shuttle will start at 1:45.
We gotta love Oktoberfest, right? Who does not like Oktoberfest? It's fun. Good stuff. Spin that little thing. You've been there to the real one in Germany. Well, aren't you lucky? I have not been, but I may go. I've been to the Black Forest. Have you been to the Black Forest? Hell, then I'm not talking to you anymore. All right, let's move through this stuff I've got on this list. New announcements, it says. The cameras, the security cameras. I know the council asked me about that last week. So the deal with the security cameras, and I will tell you that there are now, I got a little greedy, we're up to 45 cameras that are going to be installed in the building. It's going to be in every hallway, halfway down each leg of every hallway. It's going to be in the annex. We're replacing the ones in the swimming pool because they're 14 years old and they're getting a little foggy. We're having cameras that will shine on both of the duplexes from the outside. We're adding cameras in the garage because I got to tell you, quite frankly, there's nothing funnier than watching you run through our gate and tear it down. So we have video of that whenever it happens. But no, we're adding more actually in the center, down the center of the garage. We have the gates covered, but we're looking at the center of the garage and the elevators to make sure we have that area covered for security and the staircase doors. We're going to have cameras on the outside. We're adding cameras outside the lobby, not only for the front door, which we have already, but also it will cover looking east and west on the roadways. It will look on the yellow stripe in front of the lobby in case your dog pees on my yellow stripe. We will share that on channel 62. Promises. No, it's really about more security and people who are speeding or going too fast on those roadways from the curve up to the lobby and from the lobby up to Masonic Home. So we're going to have that. We're adding more cameras into the mix over the loading dock area and the concierge area looking in. So that's where all these cameras are going, a lot of them. So what happened was we finally got the big bid in on it, and it was $99,000, which is okay. I figured it was going to be in the $70,000-$80,000 range to do this. And quite frankly, that's cheap, folks, because we're using all of the, I think I told you this before, we're using all the wiring in the building from the old emergency call system that we used to have. So it has saved us a ton of money. But because it's at that extent, then I have to, by law, by our regulations, I have to get another bid. We have to have at least 2 bids, and we have to have approval of the CFO and me in order to do this. So right now, I've got both bids in. The one bid from our actual vendor is 98,000 something. The bid from the second vendor who came in and worked up a bid was $108,000. So both those bids are with the CFO, Carol Hunter, who a lot of you know, because she has to approve, and then I have to approve, and then we can go ahead and move on it. The vendor is telling me that he can have these cameras in once they start within 3 weeks, because all the cabling is in place. So we're excited to try to get that done. Hopefully we get it done before the end of October. I'd love to go play with all those cameras, but we'll have them all in place, and we'll have the entire new system up and functioning in a matter of 3 weeks. So once Carol gives me that approval from her, I'll call them, could be as early as tomorrow, and tell them, okay, fire it up, set it up. And what we'll do is we're actually going to schedule it to happen in October, finishing like the last week of October, because this is also cash flow. So for me, it's an issue of the way I'm going to work this is that we will pay for half of it in October, and then the other half will get paid for in November in the new fiscal year. So it allows me to break that hit up that we're going to take for the $90,000 and break it into 2 fiscal years. So it just helps us because we've had already a heavy CapEx year with our capital expenses. So that's how it's going to go down. It's fine. It doesn't affect us materially because we've already got it budgeted. So I think it's going to work out fine. So we're going to get that one done. That's a big project I've been wanting to get done. I didn't realize it was going to take us this long to get the cameras in, but I'm excited about having them in by the middle of next month. And then the other project, which a lot of you know that I've been working on, is that all of the furniture in the main lobby is all going to be replaced in mid-October. We have all of that. We ordered it last in the spring. We went over all the varieties, all the choices that we had, all the models, all the fabrics, not only with the company, but also with our designers, our in-house designers. So we got basically collaboration on discussing what the appearance would look like, what style of chairs they would be, what style of sofas they would be, all of that. So what we'll have coming in mid-October will be all new 6 sofas in the lobby, all 8 or 10 of the armchairs, and the 4 wing chairs. So the entire lobby is going to be taken out and a whole new set of furniture coming in, which is going to look really nice. So we're excited about getting that done. I'm sorry?
Don't get dirty.
Don't get it dirty? That's okay. That's why we're here. We clean it. You get it dirty, we clean it.
Did I hear we're getting the piano back in the lobby, Chuck?
No, you heard wrong. We're not getting a piano in the lobby. There was one offered to us, but it's an older model, brown, and very scratched up and damaged.
We got the right piano, could we have that again? Part of your culture, Christmas.
If we got the right piano like that one back there, absolutely, but
Okay,
we haven't been offered that yet.
all right.
But you could buy us one.
I don't know that I can quite afford that.
Well, the NFL can. Talk to the NFL.
If there's a will, there's a way. Chuck, I never had so many, 12, so many great holidays, Christmas and other holidays. It's just,
Well, I will tell you, and you guys know this, over all the years I've been here, Christmas is dear to my heart. So we spend a lot of money on getting this place like totally Christmased out. I just think it's something that's a lot of fun to do. And yeah, I miss having the baby grand in there. And if we can find one, I mean, I don't want to go out and spend the money to buy one. We've got more important things I have to spend money on, and I don't have that much money. So
no, but you're open to it. Thank you very much.
I am. I absolutely am. If the right one came across the table, we'd have it in there in a second.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, somebody said something? No? Okay. I heard player piano. Do you know this baby grand is a player piano? It actually has a machine on it. Problem is you can't find a disc for it. So that doesn't work very well. Okay, so that's the furniture. Those of you living on the west side of the building, you know, we've been struggling with those sails that kind of hide the Saddam loading dock from you. We had 2 new ones put up, and immediately, like 4 days after they were put up, the garbage truck raised its dumpster up and ripped one apart. So that one is now, we now have a brand new one that's been produced. We have the 3rd new one that goes on the end closer to us. There's actually 3 big sails up there. So the construction company is not back until the end of September. So they're ready to go, and the installation is now scheduled for mid-October. So by mid-October, those of you living on the west end of the building will have all 3 sails back up, and they're actually being raised up a little higher to try to protect them from a garbage driver who's not paying attention, so he doesn't rip it again. But don't worry about it, because we're not paying for it. They are paying for that wholesale production. So that cost them about $8,000 to do that. And it was fortunate because, I don't know if you heard the story, it's kind of funny. The morning it happened, I was just driving into the West Gate, and Jeff Krulik from Masonic Homes, one of the supervising engineers, happened to be there at Saddam Loading Dock. And as we're both standing there watching this truck raise his grabber up, his big track, we actually watched it grab the tarp, and we're screaming at him, "Stop, stop!" And it was too late. But the good part about that was the insurance company had no case. Republic Garbage Insurance is paying the bill for this because the guy even apologized. So good news is we're going to get a brand new sale out of it. So that should be done by mid-October. We got a lot of things that are getting wrapped up. Not because I didn't do this on purpose. It's just the way it's happening. COVID cases, we still got some activity going on out there for all of you who are paying attention out in the greater community. We're still having some significant numbers. They are starting to decrease. That's the good news. But again, I want everybody just to be aware and just to be safe. Follow all those precautions we've been talking about for years now, especially when you go out to the market or you go to a doctor's office. Don't forget, doctor's offices can be really bad. Okay, so be very careful when you go to a doctor's office. And even if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. But make sure that you sanitize your hands when you leave the doctor's office. Okay, because there's a lot of sick people in there. There's a lot of stuff floating around. So it's good to remember that. By the way, I think we had a flu vaccine today, didn't we? We had a clinic today. And there's another one tomorrow. For those of you who may have missed today, if you want to get your vaccine. Do we know what time, Nancy? Is it 9? 9:30? Where? Game room? 9:30 in the game room tomorrow, you guys, if you didn't get your vaccine. This is the one that will carry you through the winter. So good idea to get it, especially if you're having any kind of issues with your breathing, your lungs, etc. You want to make sure that you get that one. And you all got your flu shots? Everybody good? Yeah, yeah, you got your flu shots? Huh? You can get either flu only or you can get the mix. But this is the vaccine. This is not the mix, I think. Huh? This is the flu shot. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. This is the flu vaccine. The COVID vaccine clinic is coming up in a couple of weeks. Yeah, for the winter one. I apologize. Okay. We got them both covered though. And how about shingles? Any of you guys get the shingles shot? There's always that one out there. I got to ask my doc. I'm going in for my annual, see if I can do for one. Okay, that's COVID. CapEx. You guys were, somebody was asking me, what are we planning on next year? What do we do? How do we figure out projects when you kind of like put on your property management hat? What do you do with a building now that's 14 years old? When we know things are starting to fail, they're aging, and you start planning for replacements. We've already started that. We've actually been in that mode for the last couple of years since we turned 10. So we've increased like the replacement of the air conditioning compressors on the roof. I don't know how many of you have never seen or ever seen outside the roof on either side of this floor. But if you look out the door, you're going to see about 150 compressors. Plus over on this side, you're going to see the big boilers and the storage tank and all of that on the roof over here. It's really funny. One time years ago, somebody said, well, why can't we use the roof for the recreational area and we could do something up there, a pickleball court or whatever. And I actually took them over there and I unlocked the door and opened it and said, that's why. It's just full of compressors all the way to the end of the building on both sides. Because those are all the compressors that run the air conditioning for your apartments. So we know they're starting to fail. We actually have been pretty good about it. We're budgeting 9-10 compressors a year to go out on us. And then we have to budget for things like the elevators where we have the main drives that might fail on us. That could cost us $18,000. The cameras that we're doing, the retention pond down at the foot of the hill. I don't know how many of you know that we have a pond that was built to recover all the hill water from Acacia Creek when it was built. It was actually part of the construction. So down at the foot of the hill where the road comes up and turns, makes a left turn to the arterial sign, the stop sign. If you're coming up the hill and you look down, you're going to see a fenced in area. That's our storm retention pond, and it can hold up to 2,000 gallons of storm water. Well, unfortunately, we're 14 years later, that thing is filled up with silt. So now I was told last year, and we really haven't done it because I didn't have the money. We were told to scrape it out and take it back down 6 feet down to be able to allow for the water to come in and sit. And then what happens is the water sits there, and when it overflows, it goes through a pipe over to Coyote Creek over on the side here and vents out to the bay. But what it does here, when it sits here, it takes all the silt out of the water, so it's clean water that's going out to the bay. That's the whole concept of this thing that was built when Acacia Creek was built. Well, it's been all really fine up until now, but now we've got like a $40,000 bill to go down and clean all the dirt out of that thing and get it done. So that's one of the things that when I talk about project management or property management, this is a whole different side from resident care. This is about keeping the building up, keeping it clean, keeping everything operating, and making sure that we're ahead of the tide when it comes to things that are starting to age on us and break or replace. So that's kind of a different side of what we have to do. So that's what our capital expense budget is. Aside from we have two main budgets. We have the non-labor expenses. That's all the lines for every department. There's over 300 lines, accounts combined for all the departments. It has to do with everything, nuts and bolts and you name it, it covers that. And then there's the labor expense side of it where we do all of our staffing. We have to calculate the increases for our wages. We have to increase the fact this year now that we have a regular annual increase coming up in October, which we do every year. But now we also have the new minimum wage hike that's going to happen in January, which is going to affect us significantly. So we have two major hikes in our salary lines this year that we have to deal with. So we have to budget for all that. We have to project all that ahead. So that's kind of a big part of what we're doing. But the CapEx or capital expense, that's the budget that is dealing with the big projects that we have to do. We're going to be replacing asphalt out in front of the loading dock. So you know where that big roll-up door is out there? We have a large section of that asphalt that's failing, and we have to replace that. Plus, we have to fix a couple of cracks in the roadway going down past the wellness center. So we're going to take care of that because we don't want water getting under the roadway in the wintertime because it starts to erode the road. So these are all things that are in our projections going forward for the budget coming up November 1. That's when our new fiscal year starts, in November 1. I don't know if that was too much minutia. I hope not. Some people are interested and some aren't. They don't care. But do you have any questions about the budget and what we do and where we try to go with it?
I just had one from before, Chuck. I noticed that Uber and Lyft drivers are going way too fast through here. You've known me for 12 years, and I don't exaggerate. If you could take a look at that over the last month, I would appreciate it.
The comments about people driving too fast on the roadway, and yes, I absolutely agree. And it's not just the Uber drivers or the Lyft drivers. It's family members. I'm sorry, it's family members. It's residents in the garage. It's residents in the garage driving too fast. I've come out of the elevator and almost felt the wind go by when somebody flew by the main elevator. You guys got to slow down there. Everybody, you got to be safe. Somebody's going to come out of one of those elevators, especially the central ones where you don't see them, and it's going to get you. My problem in dealing with that roadway, and that's why we put the speed bumps in, hopefully to help, but what I see and I watch constantly is from the curve all the way up to the lobby, these guys are like gunning it. And then they come to a screeching stop to get over the bump and go over the next bump, and then they gun it to go up the hill to Masonic Home. It annoys the hell out of me. And a lot of times I'm out there and I'll yell at them. I'll scream loud, top of my lungs, slow down. And actually I've heard a few residents do it, and I love it. I love it when the residents do it. You got a right to do it. Do it. It's a safety factor, and it's very annoying. But I will tell you, it's a mix of everybody. It's our own team members. I've seen some of them do it. I've seen family members do it. I've seen vendors do it. The only guy that comes through at a decent pace is the big U.S. food truck. But anyway, yeah, I agree with that. It's a constant issue. We put the speed bumps in. Well, it's great for there, but it doesn't do anything down the road. Maybe you put speed bumps halfway down. We constantly have them come up past the wellness center going too fast. When I look on the cameras, I can see them, and they go by the camera, and it's like, whoop.
You're going to aim a camera right at them?
We're going to have cameras out there that are going to show the street. Yeah. And people say put a stop sign in or do this or do that. Quite frankly, I can tell you that over years, and you probably know this, people don't pay attention to the signs that tell you what not to do. They only pay attention to the signs that tell you what to do. So yeah, we could keep plastering signs all over the place, but it's not really going to solve the problem. We just need to keep talking to them. Quite frankly, I will tell you, we had a success with the young fellow with the motorcycle in the morning. We don't have that anymore because we grabbed him and had a conversation with him. So there was one that we solved. Just got to pick them off one at a time when we can. But thanks for talking about that because, yeah, it's always been bothersome for me to see that happen. Yes?
You need an automatic door going into the garage, the garbage.
Yeah, the comments about putting the automatic openers on all the garbage doors. That might be a bigger challenge than you think because there's no electrical close by. We have to run electrical. We have to have electricity for those things to work. And typically, when we put them in where we have in the lobby doors and in the bathroom door on the third floor and the other doors, we've been able to have access close by to electricity. Those are like not even close to electricity. So trying to do the garbage doors might be really expensive for us. It's something we can look at, try to figure out, but we're doing the ones in the locker rooms right now that go into the locker rooms and then go out to the pool. Yeah, those are in the works, but it was easy. We had easy access to quick electricity close by. So that keeps the cost down. Those should be done maybe by Friday. I don't know. They're doing a lot of finished work on it now. Larry, I'm sorry, you've had your hand up. Yeah, all the cameras record the time. The question is, do the cameras record the time? They record the time and date. So all of our cameras will show us what time and what date. And we have a special camera we're actually installing for your duplex because we don't have one that can cover it. We have one that covers the pavilion, but it can't see around the corner to your duplex. So they're actually adding a camera exterior for your duplex. The other duplex is being covered by the camera that's by the east gate. They're actually putting a duplex camera in that one that shows the card reader for the east gate. They can put a duplex camera in, so the other camera will be shining at that duplex. So that's how we're covering those in the outside. Well, we'd hope so. They do have Zoom. You can zoom in on them, and you can replay them, and you can save them onto the computer. So we have pretty good access with it. Yep, pretty fast. No, I get it. I know. Yes.
Anybody found a car default?
Apparently, there's a car key fob hanging out in the garage that may have gotten. What kind of car? A Dodge Durango. So we're looking for a missing Dodge Durango fob. You know, it's got the open and close buttons on it. So if you guys see it or laying around anywhere, give it to the concierge. That's where we have our lost and found. And check with them as you do when you lose something, because we get items in there all the time. I see little necklaces or earrings or different kinds of things there laying on the desk in the morning. Yeah, and you've already backtracked your steps. It's probably under the car next to where you park. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The search for the new executive director is. It's not that short, Nancy. They're down to two finalists who have been interviewed by several different panels. Bill Quirk from the council and Sally and Sophie involved in one panel. There's another panel with shared services folks from Grand Lodge. There's another panel with Penny and Carol Lee and Mina and Amy, our marketing consultant. So one of the two candidates went through their rigmarole. Was that yesterday or Monday? Yesterday. And the second candidate, the finalist, is going through it on Friday. So they're getting down to interview processes at this point. We'll see. And if neither one of them matches and it doesn't work, then they continue to look. So we'll see what happens with that. We're hoping we have somebody on board at least by mid-October so we can have some crossover time to work with them, but we'll see what happens. I did volunteer to stay on longer than October 31st, but they didn't agree to the amount of money I wanted. I'm just kidding. And actually, it's November 1st. My last day is November 1st, Friday. Not that I'm excited about it. I've been working since I was 16. It's been a long time. This is a very strange thing to go through. I'm going to get bored? God, I hope not. I got a lot of things lined up I got to do.
You gotta come back and do a guest appearance Wednesday show, Chuck.
A guest. I will come in for guest appearances.
I think somebody might try to fill your shoes.
Well, as long as you give me the wine, I don't care. I'll be here. If they let me in the gate.
Chuck has got somebody over here.
Sophie. Anything on the status of our chef? No, I heard you. I'll be over there in a minute. I heard you. We have been through 4, I'm sorry, Larry, I had that way too close. We've been through 4 candidates, and so far, none of them are what we're looking for. So the good news is we had 4 candidates that are worth looking at. So we'll continue looking. For my job, I was very impressed. I think they had like 75 applicants for it. And of course, for chefs, it's a little more critical, a little more difficult in this area to find chefs. I know that I've got a couple of friends that have buildings in the area. They're looking for chefs. Food service chefs and cooks, I don't know why, but it's been such a challenge since the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, we really did not have problems finding cooks, but I don't know where they all went. They decided that's not what they wanted to do. They went to McDonald's, for $20 an hour. But yeah, it's a very strange phenomenon that it has become so difficult for restaurants, hotels, places like us to find qualified people to come in and handle the job. So again, we continue to look. We will continue to look as it gets down the road here. I would expect pretty soon here in the next couple of weeks. I don't really want to make the decision. It'll be my successor that should be interviewing and choosing that person as we get closer to that. A lot of the things that we're involved with now, I have to make a conscious decision. Is that something I'm dealing with now? Or is that something going forward when I'm not going to be here? So there's a lot of that that's going on right now. We have our last board meeting, my last board meeting, not yours, October 16th. And we need to go, there's a lot of processes we have to go through with that, with the turnover. So we'll see as we get through that process. Sorry?
The gates, up front gate, when it.
How about the front gate? Son of a gun. Yeah, the bids just came in, and we have to meet with the resident to have them review those, but their insurance will have to pay for it. So we're taking the next step on that to get the approvals so they can start ordering all the parts and pieces they need to put it back together. But they did immediately that day, they put on a 3rd shift so that even though the gates open, we had eliminated that graveyard shift in the shack. Well, they brought it back immediately that day. So there's someone there 24 hours a day, just so you know. Okay. Thank you. Good question. Anybody else? Questions? I'm out of my stuff. Questions? Fun questions? Happy questions? Oh, good.
Dining room furniture,
Dining room furniture, yes.
chairs,
Would you like all new furniture? I can do that before I leave because I don't have to pay for it next year. You want a whole new set of furniture in there?
Cheers.
Yes.
Good luck. All right, I'll tell you a little bit of a story, and some of the folks who have been here for quite a while will remember this. When they first built the building and we opened it, well, I didn't open it, but I came in a year later, we only had half the furniture for that room. I don't know if you all remember that, but you guys probably remember it. John, you might remember it. We only had half of the furniture for the dining room. They didn't buy the whole furniture for all the dining room. So when we finally started ramping this place back up again, I said, okay, guys, we need the other half of the dining room now. And actually, when I came, what did we have, Donna? We had like about half of the east side full back then. That was it. Yeah, that was everybody. So we did buy all new chairs. And I think it was 2018. The reason I think that, because somebody asked me the other day. So I went back and looked. It was 2018. We got the other half of all the new chairs for the dining room. We actually were fortunate enough to order them from the same manufacturer because it was only 8 years later. But more fortunately, that the fabric was still available that they had used on the original chairs. So we were able to match the chairs up almost perfectly with the chairs that we had here. So that worked out really well. But I know and I understand the pads are starting to get a little thin. They're getting tired. And we need to replace those pads. And some of them we need to replace the wheels too. Well, it's not quite like sitting on the floor, Raj. Come on, that's a little exaggeration. Well, we can do sushi and have you all the way on the floor. Yeah, that is something that's going to be dealt with. Unfortunately, it's not going to be this year, and I don't know if it's going to be next year, but they're going to have to replace the pads, and you can do that. It's a big job to do. But it can be done in sections, and then we can use chairs from other areas to make up the difference for you while they do different sections. So it's a long process. It's a big process. These chairs we got in not that long ago. We bought all these new chairs for the turkey roost, and they have thicker pads on them. I think they'll probably last a little longer, but I know with the movies you guys get a little bit sore, but certainly I was talking to Bill about this. We can get some more pads or whatever, those pads that we have on the other side, until we can get through that. My dream, and it's not going to happen obviously, is that I want to take that big engineering room on the 4th floor and move, which I don't know if you guys even know, but on the 4th floor there's an engineering space where all their stuff is that's above the multipurpose room. It takes up the whole space of the multipurpose room and the art studio. And I have, ever since I walked in the door, wanted to get rid of that engineering storage space and make that the multipurpose room. And then down below, make it a theater with theater seating. Well, we've never been able to get to it with our struggles financially to keep things on the level here. And so that hasn't happened. Maybe someday somebody will be able to do that. But that was my dream, was to get that done. My other dream was to move the memorial over here by the flags and flatten that whole area out and make it an open barbecue activity area for us. Because we really don't have our own spaces outside to be able to do things. And if you look at that, and if you picture it all the way back to the wall that's by the sidewalk, that can be a huge space down there. And I think it's a wonderful opportunity to open it up for us to be able to have for our outdoor activities. So that's one that's out there that's possible. Yes, ma'am. Where? The boardroom? Oh, yeah, I know. We have a guy. We have a plan. It could be by the end of this month, all of those chairs will have wheels on all four legs. We've been looking and trying to figure it out for a long time, but we now have a guy, and in 2 days, he can take all the chairs, cut them down to match, get the wheels on them so that the arms still are able to get just under the table, and all four of them will roll. Unlike the dining room, these are small chairs. These things move really fast. So that doesn't bother me with these guys because these are big, heavy chairs. So we're putting wheels on all four of the legs in the boardroom. So it is very close to happening. I just wasn't going to tell you because I was going to surprise you. But it's very close. George wants chairs for big and tall people.
Sorry.
There's only a few of us here. Big and tall. And what chairs is George asking about? Dining room, bar? Do we need a special chair everywhere? If it's on wheels, can he move it around so he can sit wherever he wants on it? I'm just joking. All right, George, thanks for that. Appreciate it. Talk to my successor. We'll get that done. Yes, sir. The question was, George wants a chair for big and tall people. I'm not sure. George Christensen. He wanted a chair for big and tall people. But I'm not sure. George, you didn't say, is it the dining room, is it the bar? Wherever it is, we'll design one for you that you can roll around to any part of the building. How about that? Yes, ma'am. The three people missing from the kitchen, no. There's only two. There's the chef and one line cook, and we have a guy in process for the line cook position. So no, all the dishwashers are there. Everybody else is there. It's just one line cook, Dominic, and we're replacing him. And there's a guy in process now with HR, and then of course we're looking for the chef. But the chef isn't a guy who actually stands the watches and is on the line. They're doing all the administrative stuff. So it's a combination of Madeline's jumped in to help with that, and Nisa, the sous chef, has jumped in to help with that until we get through and find us an executive chef. So yeah, we went back to the buffet just because it's difficult when you start losing people back there to handle the table service. And I know. Some people want buffet, some people want table service. It's all across the board. But I would tell you that my personal feeling, and you can talk with whoever replaces me, that table service in Acacia Creek is something that's part of the culture of Acacia Creek. It's part of our competitive value against people like Stone Ridge and other places that we want people to come move here and live here versus over there. And we quite frankly have had salespeople that have been questioned by prospects as, well, you got a buffet? What is that about? They don't consider that to be very high end, or, when I'm asking them for close to $1 million in an entry fee and you've got a buffet in the dining room, it just doesn't work with marketing purposes. So there's a combination of, we'll get the new chef in here and we'll tell them we need more, better, faster, quicker service. What do you do? Fix it. Fix that piece of it. I want to get the salad bar back for you guys. But that's my personal opinion. Some people think, no, stay with the buffet because I can just go up there and get what I want to get. I apologize for that, but we have to look at the bigger picture of Acacia Creek and marketing this place against the competition, and what we need to do to fill the building. It's a combination of having quality service, and it's also on us to make sure that table service is functioning right. So again, it's a struggle. It goes either way, but we have to look at what probably is the best for us to be able to market Acacia Creek and keep it full. There's more competition coming online. It's getting tougher and tougher for us. So it was easy when it was just us, and the Stone Ridge opened. And there's more coming online, so we have to keep our best foot forward. Okay, question?
Can I talk for 1 second?
Yeah, you want to say something?
I do.
All right, guys. Yeah, Tom's here.
Humbly. Well, first time in 10 or 12 years, I wanted to present one of our certificates of appreciation, pennies program, to new people. You might want to look at it. This one is for, I believe, after today, 144 shows I've seen of Chuck's in 12 years. And it's always a lot of fun. And if I didn't miss it, and it was free, and we got a free beer, it was wonderful. But this caregivers and nurses are the ones I wanted to highlight, since I think that was Chuck's very best hire ever, was Joy and Cece and Marlene and Marie and Mary and Dawn and 2 others on the night crew that I didn't know. And of course, Mina, her team. For me, I think that was your best hire ever, Chuck, and I appreciate it. And my healthcare over those years have, I think, got a little better. So anybody ever wants to talk to me about anything, I have time for the new people. And at the bottom it says, what do I appreciate about you? Sincerity, kindness, professionalism, with the wonderful up attitude. And then Chuck's, says Chuck Majors, our leader. I wrote in from each and every resident. And there's so much we appreciate, and you have a little line. I appreciate about you, our culture and team you have built. Love and pride, nurses, best hire ever. So if you could give that to them, give that to them. Thank you. But I appreciate it very much, Chuck.
Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. We'll give that to them. And then we have Carol and Betty sitting over here patiently to talk about bells. You want the microphone? Talk about bells. Bells.
I just quickly wanted to thank you very much for allowing me to share my passion. Just very quickly, before the shutdown, we were on tour. We had a bell choir that went on tour, and we lit the tree lights every December, and we also were invited by the Kiwanis Club at a Christmas party to play the bells. But every time we went on tour, we needed a moving band to move it, because we had 3 octaves, 12 people, and tables and chairs, and you can see there's a little bit of a layout right here for this. But I'm having trouble getting people to join. We have almost enough to go back and do our bells again. I tried to get this because, yeah, good. Because some of the people are moving in at an older age, and this is pretty heavy. And it's the low note. Okay. So I suggested that we try the chimes for the low octave. It's the same tone, it's just a lot lighter to play. Let's do it together. So I thought maybe that might entice a couple of people to join and want to play the lower octaves. As the notes go up, the bells get smaller, so they're easier to handle from middle C up. But you don't need to know music at all, none at all. This is not an orchestra. This is one instrument. play them together.
You gotta come over, show them on this side.
So we wanted to just demonstrate very quickly a little tune that I think everybody knows. Okay, go. No. Down. Okay. Okay, go ahead. This is-
Sorry.
Now, I had 4 bells here to play, but each player only has 2 bells to play because you only have 2 hands, really. There are other players who played 3 or 4 bells at a time, but our group only plays 2 bells at a time, and you have 2 bells, 1 in each hand, and then you have 2 other bells laying down. I just wanted to point out, just musically, just a little bit of music, was if I play F, and then we play a different song, and I need F sharp, so you have a different bell that has F sharp on it. Each bell is toned up. I have a sign-up sheet here, and I was hoping a couple people would sign up. We only need a couple more people, and then we'll have a meeting. We'll decide. Oh, good. Hey. Well,
Two more people signed up.
just 2 more. Yeah, we just need a couple more, and then we will have a meeting and decide among ourselves what day is the best day to practice. But I do want to have people committed to a weekly practice, but we want to know the best day. So, thank you. And thank you for letting me share this.
I'm sorry, I forgot one more thing. Sorry.
What's that?
On September 28th, which I think that's the last Saturday of the month is the number. We have the Mutt Strut that's happening down on the lower lot. Masonic Home always sponsors or offers the space for the New Haven School District to come in and do their Mutt Strut. It's going to be from 8 to noon, and we're all invited to attend. So there'll be shuttles that'll go down to the lower lot. If you have a doggy and you want to bring the doggy, you can do that too. They're going to parade up around Acacia Creek. So we may have the parade. We may have a watch route up here if you didn't go all the way down. But if you would like to be part of the festivities with your furry pal, there's a sign-up sheet in the binder. If you would like to attend and get a breakfast burrito, sign up. If you would like to attend with your furry pal, have a breakfast burrito, a doggy swag bag, and a t-shirt, there's a website on the flyer downstairs that you need to go to their website and sign up, and then you'll get all that swag. But if you just want the burrito and bring your furry pal, or if you just want to go and see the furry pals, Saturday, the 28th, sign up. It's going to be fun. Okay, now I'm done. Bye.
Hey, okay, thanks everybody. Have a lovely night. Bye-bye.